This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everyone. Yes, this is a podcast about leadership. Now, you might think for a moment, well, I don't want to be a leader. I'm not really a leader. I'm not wired to be a leader. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Why would you want to be? Well, let's think about this. You are leading right now, at this moment, yourself. You're starting with yourself. We are all leaders, essentially. Now, let's go to your household. You're a parent. Aren't you a leader? You're leading your kids. So many different aspects to look at this. And we are going to dig into the aspect of women and how to lead, but it definitely starts within. And she helps many women have this realization through effective coaching. She is Heidi Meckley. She's back with us. How are you doing today?
Doing fantastic. How are you, Steve? It's awesome to be here. And I really, really appreciate just being here with you the weeks that we've been here.
Same. And by the way, congratulations. You were just out of New York. I don't want to, you explain it. I don't want to take any thunder away, but it was a big moment, right?
It was huge. It was ended up being a lot more than I was anticipating. I am in a book called Limitless Leadership. I'm one of 10 authors within that. It's an anthology book, and it's actually a series of 3 books. I'm in the middle one. There's one before, and there's going to be one after. But we got to, because it became a bestseller, we were able to go to New York City and have a photo shoot with our pictures and information on the NASDAQ billboard, New York City and Times Square. And that was pretty amazing.
Wow.
Really amazing.
Has this inspired you to write again?
Absolutely. I mean, I already have a full book for myself ready to go. From meeting with the women from this particular book, there's several of them that are working to do more anthology books. So they're asking all of us to go in on those as well. So there might be multiple books coming out here real soon. So it really opened up an opportunity to be able to get information out there and get my story and ways that I can help others that may not or are not looking for like specific coaching, but they like to read, they like to do the self-help that way. This just gives me another avenue to reach more people.
I think it's cool having a whole bunch of authors in a book. The topic is kind of the umbrella topic, leadership, but you get a different view from each one of them. And it's also a shorter read from each one of them. So I think it's the perfect marriage of all these people coming together. Now, your section of this book is about essentially, of course, leadership, but it starts within, right?
Correct. You have to lead within to lead beyond. It's so easy for everybody, especially parents. If you're a parent, you're leading. Sorry to say. And like you said, you have to lead yourself first. But it's so easy for people, friends, family, all the things, to try to lead you in a direction that they either haven't gone, don't understand, feel you're doing the wrong thing because it's in their mind, it's not the right way to go. You have to understand that you need to let go of that noise and understand how to lead yourself without everybody else's opinions. Because you need to find the answers within. You have the answers with your intuition because everybody has that. Everybody has that. The question is, are you listening? And if you are helping people, are you telling them to do things that you're not doing and know you should? Because that's a no-no.
And usually those things that you pick out in other people, well, look what they're doing. It's ridiculous. So usually it's you. You're calling yourself out. Right. Yeah. And many times we didn't even see that. I don't know why, but we just don't. I get it. Like I look at other people and I think, why are they doing that? What are they? And then I was like, oh, there's a little piece of me in there. There's a little piece right there. But to your point, and a great one, you have to be aware. How do we go within and see all these things you might not be seeing and see maybe the opportunities for leadership with ourselves and others?
First and foremost, this all sounds easy, right? But just like any new habit or any new thing that you're doing, it takes a minute, it takes a hot minute to sink in so that you're doing it on a regular basis. Okay. You have to be paying attention to what you're thinking, what you're saying, and how you're reacting to others. And then you've got to say, okay, am I reacting because I have a hurt or something in here that I'm not dealing with? Am I being judgmental because that's what I heard growing up others do around me, or I surround myself with people that do that, so I'm doing it too just to fit in, right? So often we're not paying attention to ourselves because it's so easy to let go of you and focus on everybody else. Look at the outside world, don't deal with what's in here. But the only way you're going to make the magic happen in your life is by dealing with what's in here. The only way you're going to hit your goals, hit your dreams, and well beyond, and have opportunities show up in life and in business, regardless if you're in business, is you have to go within and go, okay, why am I so triggered by this? Why is this person with what they're doing, like, it sends me through the roof every time I see them? You need to dive into that more and go, okay, well, they're doing this, this, and this. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of that? Are you jealous? Is it something you've always wanted to do and it's triggering you that way? Or is it a deeper hurt that they're getting what you've always wanted?
Ooh, say that last part again.
I just don't know how to get there.
A deeper
hurt, like a deeper wound of something that you've always wanted. And maybe people have always told you, you can't have that. You will never be able to do that, whatever it is, or you don't feel like you're enough to go after that. And someone you know close to you or don't like is getting it and is triggering you that way.
I see this in many different areas. Even if you look at somebody and let's go hypothetical. You look at someone and you say, look at them, man, they're just so lazy. You know, they're not achieving anything. They're just like kind of spinning their wheels. They want everybody to like them, but they got nothing going on. Look at that. There might not be even an obvious comparison to yourself, but you are making a comparison whether you know it or not. And maybe deep down inside, you're pointing that out because you have a ton of things that you want to achieve, but you're not doing it. It might not even be clear, why they trigger you, but you're judging them. But there's pieces that you might want to take away that apply to yourself that we don't even see.
Exactly. And when you first start doing this type of work, you're not going to see it because you haven't done this work it's the fears and the doubts and the things, because when you start doing the work, you're like, oh my God, well, what if I'm less than I think I am, right? We automatically go to the fear of and doubt that we don't have enough within us to make stuff happen. Because of someone's comments, because of someone's look, because you got fired from someplace that just didn't understand you, or it was the wrong fit. You take that personally to a degree that affects you, and you carry with you and have reactions because of that throughout the rest of your life until you choose to change it.
Do you find that once you start making a choice, at least to be aware, that it slowly gets easier, like things present themselves, it's a little more clear? Like, can I give you an example?
Absolutely.
So I think I shared with you, I'm in a men's group, and it's, we're having an event tonight, and sometimes we invite guests so they can see what it's all about. So I shared with one of the leaders in the group, and we joke around a lot, and he's pretty deep. And I said, can guests come tonight? I have a couple that might want to attend. And he said, guests are not a problem. Now, obviously, it's a positive statement, but I called him out on it. And it says, and I'm joking. He knows I'm joking. I said, okay, my subconscious says that was a negative sentence, not and problem. It's like, I don't use those terms. I've gotten rid of them as I try to be more positive. And he gets it. He wrote back something, haha, you're right, blah, 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 blah. But I try to remove those. Those little things that are, It's what I'm getting at here is it's a process. It's not just a flip a switch and tomorrow's going to be totally different. You have to just keep chipping away along the way, right?
Absolutely. But the key point of what you just gave as an example is the fact that you, as you said, call them out, but not really even call them out, but just ask. The issue I see so much, especially with the teens, it's, the younger generation right now aren't getting taught to ask. And I'm always after mine and say, listen, if you don't understand or you think I'm angry or you think something came off wrong, ask me. I probably have something else going on. It has nothing to do with you. And it may came out a little gruff because of what I'm dealing with over here. It has nothing to do with you. But if we don't ask those questions, we sit and internalize them, and you will never lead yourself properly if you don't ask those questions. You have to become inquisitive and you have to be proactive for yourself to ask those questions. And when someone says something, okay, hang on a second. I don't care how much the person's talking, you go, okay, time out. Boop. I got to ask because this is going to bug me and I can't get past it. When you said this, it made me think of this and made me feel this way. Did you really mean it that way?
Mm-hmm.
You're not attacking. You're not coming at them. It's your perspective versus their perspective, and they're going to fill you in with the blanks instead of you reading between the lines of how you took it with your life history.
And especially when it's in a text.
Oh my God, yes.
You don't get the clarity. And, what I was referring to in terms of the words being used, I'm a king of saying, I can't wait. I can't wait for that tonight. It's going to be so much. What do you mean you can't wait? How about I'm looking forward to?
Or I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. It's just those little things that I believe those, even just the little words that we use, set us an eighth of a step back. Not a big deal, but in the big picture of trying to be positive in terms of leading yourself and others forward, I believe every little thing makes a difference. Well, you probably don't realize it, but every little thing does make a difference when you start adding it all up.
Absolutely. But you will see the difference if you're actually journaling what's going on. That's why journaling is also so important, because when you're journaling, you're like, okay, I'm going through this process and okay, I don't want people to hate on themselves. When you journal one day and it's a month later and you say, okay, I need to sit down and journal. It's a process to get into it, especially if you don't like writing. But I'm telling you, when you do this, it's game changing. It's the same thing like with overwhelm. Everybody's like, I'm so busy. I'm so crazed. I'm so busy. I'm so overwhelmed. Okay, people, stop it. Okay. By doing that, you are putting more and more weight on your shoulders, on yourself, putting more stress on you. Here are 3 steps to make that go away. It's so flippin' easy. Every time you hear yourself say that, and get an overwhelmed or stressed buddy and make sure that you guys are catching each other and go, every time you say it or feel it, you need to stop, not stop, drop, and roll. You're going to stop, grab your pen and journal, and you're going to write out what you believe you have on your list that's making you so overwhelmed. You're only going to write 1 to 5 things, unless you're one of those type A's that can make a list till, next Christmas. But you're going to find once you have it on the paper, you're going to see that almost everything that's on there is something you're waiting on somebody else for. It has nothing to do with you. You're waiting. Yep. You can't do a damn thing about it. So you have to pause and go, oh, all I can do is check in, see how it's going. And I need to go live over here because I'm not letting this overwhelm take me out from my life, because you're missing opportunities. You're missing time with family, and you're pushing people away by constantly being overwhelmed.
I like these 3 words that you spiked in there. It could apply to everything, though. This is the frame of I'm overwhelmed. I'm busy. What you believe is keeping you busy.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean that's the reality. It's what we think is in the way. And that may even be ourselves. It may be ourselves.
A lot of times it is.
Yeah, exactly. I always think in music, and this song came to mind. Early 70s, was a top 10 hit, one hit wonder. It's kind of a fast, folksy, poppy kind of song. It's called Sunshine by Jonathan Edwards. And we're talking about leadership, and these lyrics popped in my head. This is the chorus. How much does it cost? I'll buy it. The time is what we've lost. I'll try it. But he can't even run his own life. I'll be damned if he'll run mine. And then it goes into Sunshine. And that's what we're talking here is if you can't lead your own life, you're not leading others, effectively at least.
Correct. Because you got to think, especially like parents, you got to think of how overwhelmed you are and how stressed you are with the things that are going on. What are you setting your kids up for? The exact same thing. Mm-hmm. And it goes into the same issue of like, if this type of thing's always happening in your life from your family, it's a family thing. This has always been in our life. This type of thing always happens. Again, you have to lead yourself out of that, and you can break the chains for you and every generation after you. You just have to go, I need to look within to lead myself first right and be the right example for those that are watching by changing my thought process, what I say, and the actions and responses I have to the people around me. Again, that's not as easy as it sounds. That's why almost a lot of people give up. Don't give up, because the person you're giving up on is you. You are worth more. You deserve more. And this world needs you for what you have to offer.
That word is so powerful. Deserve.
Yes.
Deserve. It's not need, not want, deserve. There are things that we feel deep within that we deserve. And sometimes we don't even think of it that way, but there are things that we're afraid to even ask for. Ask for a raise. I feel I deserve a raise. I worked my butt off. I care about the company. I've been there 10 years plus, whatever it might be. But you don't go in to the corner office or approach your superior and ask, because many of us don't feel that we deserve certain things. How can we change that?
You have to start with the tiny things first. Again, start listening to what you're saying in your head, the thoughts that are going through, and ask yourself, is this really me? Or is this from somebody, from my parents, from aunts, uncles, cousins, or somebody from my past? Is it me? And if you don't align with it, it's your choice to fix it, because only you can. Not even God himself is going to come into your little brain and fix everything for you. You get the power, because of free will, to decide who you want to be, how you want to think, how you want to act. Take your power back. Be you.
You say all the right things, but you do. Like all these things that, after years of studying this, years of learning it, and it goes in cycles for me. There's certain words or phrases that stand out as I learn more things, as I observe myself, others, life, world, universe, all of that. And deserve was one of those. And take your power back. I would task anybody here today, and you've mentioned journaling a few times.
Yep.
I know I should be doing it, but I just don't do it as much, and I need to change that. But journal only today on what is stealing my power. The following is stealing my power. Now fill in the blank. What is it? Think about it. Go deep. There's a ton of things, guaranteed.
Yep. And you can even go deeper in that with, okay, what is stealing my power? Ask yourself, why? Where did I get this from? And then get that answer. Why? That's how you go deeper. Yep. You've got to keep asking yourself why until you really find the root of where that thought, statement, whatever hurt is that's coming from. By going deeper, you're going to be able to see how you can change. Yeah. Is it fun in the beginning? No, it's not. That's why a lot of people get help with coaches, advisors, therapists, whatever it might be, right? And that's why, like when people work with me, they're like, you're no joke. It's like we were on the call for 5 minutes and I had like a whole list of notes already. I'm like, because I don't want to waste your time. You're here. If you're paying to be with me, I want you to know that we're going to go and start from the beginning, because a lot of times it starts before the call, because again, I'm a psychic soul healer. So I'm getting things before we even talk. And it's like, let's go. let's make this happen. And as long as you put in the work about minding your thoughts, writing it down, and doing what you need to do, you will be a completely different person as long as you choose to take that path.
I'm not going to say this just because we're here, but I'm going to say it. You're right. All of it. You're right. It's there. And as much as you want to ignore it, or you can't find the answer, or things are in the way, again, what is stealing your power? You know the answer.
Yes.
You do. We have the answer to everything we need. Anything. You choice A, choice B. Got to make it by 5 p.m. today. I can't decide. Yes, you know the answer. You do. You already. It's in you. But therein lies the intuition and listening and moving that other stuff out of the way so that you can hear it. But the things that are stealing your power, there is an answer. I don't want to admit it. I don't want to, face it, but it's obvious once you start digging into it.
And stop being afraid what other people are going to say if you ask a question. If they laugh or if they belittle you, then they're not a person you need to be around to begin with. Okay. Or you just make a comment to them and like, I really needed to know this because I didn't understand. And if they're still having a problem with it, again, that's somebody you really should start limiting your time with. You've really got to protect who you are and who you allow around you, because you're going to be, as they always say, the sum of the 5 people that you're around the most. So are they negative? Are they positive? Are they triggered? Are they, always keeping the past up? Because, there's, I remember back in the day, I was one of those that had the people around me like, whose life is worse today? Whose story is worse today? Who gets the prize, right? And I hate it. I'm like going, this doesn't feel right. And I'm like, I can't keep doing this. I'm like, this doesn't feel right. So I transitioned out of that and I'm like, I need to grow because I'm not staying in that position. Because that was when I was like a tween, okay, and teen. And I'm like, I'm not living that life this way. Because I would, like you, was an observer of all the people around me. And I had a knack of being extremely quiet in adult rooms. They forget I was there. So I heard lots of things. And so I got to learn a lot before I actually experienced or had things like that come up in my life. And I'm like, oh, I ain't going there. I remember that story. No, we're not doing that. And this is the flags I need to watch. And it's those that are around you that are probably pushing you the hardest that you may want to ask some questions of, because there's a reason they're coming at you. Well, why is it? And if they can't answer that, then they need to do the deep work themselves so that they can figure out why they're coming at you. Especially if it's somebody you hold dear and close and they're always coming at you to do something because they think you're good at it, but it doesn't fill you. Because you have to go after your passion and purpose, not what everybody thinks you should go after. It's your dream, your life, your choice.
Right back to the beginning, you need to lead your own life effectively before you can others and get your stuff in order. And it's all here.
Exactly.
The sum of the 5 people, I hear it all the time. Been hearing it for decades. You said it. Heidi, I'm going to admit, there's a piece of me that was just like, I don't want to hear. I don't hear you. I don't hear. Stop talking. Stop. Love you. Stop. Because I already see them. I already know. Like, everybody's got their things, but if those things are impacting your growth and development, might want to think about that. This is just a piece of what you do. And by being able to use intuition and psychically approach some of these things, makes you radically different when it comes to coaching. How do we find you? How do we connect?
Well, you can go to my website, which is HeidiMeckley.com, which is HEIDI, M is a Mary, ECKLEY. You can also email me at info@HeidiMeckley.com, because I am offering 45-minute calls right now for only $47 for those here on the podcast. And we can really dive into a lot within just that one call. And then you decide from there if you want to continue or if you want to go on your own.
And
never push.
You can learn a lot from that because of your intuition.
Yes.
Yeah. It's I might have used the analogy before, but it's like the plane is already on the runway, ready for takeoff. And if you work with others, sometimes the plane is in the hangar. It takes some time to move the plane out and get it there. You're already ready for takeoff, using your abilities and your skills and things you've learned along the way. Always great talking with you. I love your logo, by the way. Is that a phoenix?
It is a phoenix. Rise from the ashes, because I believe everybody needs to rise from the person they once were.
Yeah.
Because we are beaten out of who we are after we are born with love and kindness, but who we were meant to be and what our soul's purpose was on this planet is flattened with all of the no's and you could have or should do or shouldn't do from parents and family. You know what's inside you. You know what you're being pulled to or with the ideas and things. It's about time that everybody starts bringing that out and realizing that they can rise from their own ashes and rebuild who they are into their soul purpose so they can live one hell of a life and look back and go, I did that. And
that's where the joy comes in.
And fulfillment.
Yes. And that's the highest level of any feeling. You want to be there. Get there. Thank you so much for today. Really appreciate it. You're just fantastic. And everything you said is true. It really is. Can't deny. I want to deny it, some of it, but I can't because it's the truth. We'll catch up next time.
Okay. Thanks, Steve.
Appreciate it. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect. This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.